In a world where the stock market is a battleground of ideas and values, there exists a fascinating intersection between controversy and financial success. These are not your typical blue-chip stocks. Instead, they are the mavericks, the rule breakers, the 7 controversial brands that, against all odds, emerge as surprisingly great stock buys. Buckle up as we delve into the intriguing stories behind these companies, where controversy meets opportunity in the dynamic landscape of the stock market. Anheuser-Busch. Discussing controversial brands inevitably leads us to the doorstep of the brewing giant Anheuser-Busch. To briefly revisit the scenario, Anheuser-Busch's flagship brand, Bud Light, forged an alliance with social media newcomer Dylan Mulvaney. For those not in the know, Mulvaney gained significant attention on TikTok by sharing her journey through gender transition. As expected, this move stirred discontent among many conservative commentators. In the realm of contentious stocks, Anheuser-Busch might appear as a standout example. Adding to the complexity is a noteworthy observation from the Washington Post, revealing that Republican voters exhibit a preference for Bud Light and other light beer brands over the more liberal counterparts. Nevertheless, it's crucial to take a broader perspective into account. Consider Equifax, which sparked widespread outrage a few years back due to a significant data breach that compromised the identities of millions of Americans. Despite the initial shock, society eventually moved past it. In a similar vein, I'm confident that consumers will eventually overcome their reservations about Bud Light's collaboration with Mulvaney. Worth noting, analysts collectively view Bud as a consensus moderate buy. The average price tag stands at $72, suggesting a potential upside of 10%. Exxon Mobile. Being one of the major players in the global oil and natural gas industry, Exxon Mobil inherently finds itself among the ranks of controversial brands. Moreover, as societal concerns shift towards green energy and sustainability, particularly among millennials and Generation Z, openly supporting hydrocarbons becomes increasingly untenable. Unsurprisingly, Exxon has faced significant criticism over the years, rendering XOM as one of the least favored stocks. Significantly, a substantial portion of the company's website is dedicated to addressing the controversies surrounding the #ExxonNew movement. In its efforts to safeguard its reputation, Exxon contends that the movement is a coordinated campaign aiming to discredit the oil giant. The company asserts that activists distort Exxon's stance on climate change and misrepresenting related research when communicating with the public. Regardless of your stance on major oil corporations, the stark scientific truth is that hydrocarbons may remain significant for decades. The Brookings Institution highlights the challenge societies face in parting ways with fossil fuels due to their considerable energy density. For those inclined towards contrarian investing, analysts designate XOM as a moderate buy, with a price target of $129.50, suggesting an almost 12% upside potential. Consequently, being labeled as one of the controversial stocks for left-leaning advocates hasn't adversely affected XOM. Nike. While Nike certainly doesn't fall into the category of unpopular stocks, it would be disingenuous to assert that it has never been at the center of controversies. In various instances, Nike has earned a reputation not entirely unjustified as one of the most contentious brands. The persistent issues of sweatshops and forced labor have long haunted Nike and its counterparts in the apparel industry. Notably, Nike drew conservative criticism for its endorsement of former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick. Without delving too deeply into the specifics, a brief overview is warranted. Kaepernick took a knee during the national anthem as a protest against police brutality towards people of color. This act, visually impactful, ignited significant outrage across ideological lines among millions of Americans. Nike chose to stand by Kaepernick, even featuring him in a video advertisement. Interestingly, Nike's foray into socially conscious messaging did not hinder its financial success. Over the past 5 years, despite a notable dip in 2022, NKE has seen a remarkable uptrend with an overall gain of over 80%. At present, analysts collectively label NKE as a moderate buy, with the average price target settling at $140.72, indicating a potential upside of 12%. Wendys. As the holding company representing the eponymous fast food chain, Wendys typically draws attention from consumers as an alternative to more mainstream fast food options. However, it has found itself among controversial brands in recent years, particularly facing scrutiny from those on the left. Notably, the company faced backlash when one of its franchisees made a donation to former President Donald Trump's re-election campaign. In response to the public outcry, Wendys announced a commitment to donate $500,000 to social justice organizations. More recently, the company faced criticism for alleged mistreatment of farm workers, prompting calls for protesters for Wendys to participate in their Fair Food program. This program, a collaboration between farmers, farm workers, and retail food companies, aims to ensure fair wages and humane working conditions. Despite its unexpected status as one of the controversial stocks, those with an inclination for contrarian investing might find it worthwhile to examine the financial metrics before drawing conclusions. Specifically, Wendys recorded revenue of nearly $2.1 billion last year, marking a growth of over 10% compared to the previous year. Presently, analysts collectively designate WEN as a consensus hold. Nevertheless, the average price target stands at $25.04, suggesting a potential upside of 10%. Mondelez. A global conglomerate in the confectionery, food, snacks, and beverage industry, Mondelez holds a special place in the hearts of many due to its iconic products like Oreo cookies. Yet, unexpectedly, this company found itself among the controversial brands, particularly in the eyes of conservatives. In the past year, discontent arose among right-wing critics over an Oreo advertisement featuring a young Chinese-American man sharing his coming-out journey with his parents. Additionally, Mondelez had previously marked LGBTQ+ History Month by releasing limited edition rainbow cookies. Predictably, conservative voices have criticized Mondelez for what they perceive as a shift towards more socially conscious messaging. However, this critique has not gained substantial traction. Over the last 5 years, Mondelez has witnessed a significant uptick in its equity value, recording a gain of 79%. From a financial perspective, the company maintains a robust sales trajectory, boasting a 3-year revenue growth rate of 8.6%. This figure positions Mondelez more favorably than 61.61% of companies within the consumer packaged goods industry. Additionally, the company demonstrates consistent profitability. For individuals exploring contrarian investment opportunities, Mondelez stands out as one of the more promising controversial stocks. Currently, analysts collectively endorse MDLZ as a consensus strong buy. Ammo. Naturally, when delving into the realm of controversial brands accessible to retail investors, the sports shooting and hunting industries take center stage. Undoubtedly, the nation necessitates robust discussions on this matter, especially considering the unfortunate and senseless loss of too many lives in recent times. Almost inevitably, companies within the ammunition manufacturing sector, such as ammo, find themselves embroiled in controversy. However, it is equally important to explore the flip side of the argument. Essentially, the contentious industry in question directly employs tens of thousands of workers. Moreover, During the COVID-19 pandemic, this sector experienced a significant uptick, ensuring the livelihoods of numerous families. Furthermore, before advocating for the cessation of an entire industry, it is imperative to take into account the multitude of workers employed throughout the broader supply chain. In the case of ammo, the company stands out with a robust balance sheet and notably vigorous operational growth. Priced just below $2, POWW is undeniably positioned as one of the more precarious stocks to contemplate. Let's be unequivocal about that. However, analysts collectively designate POWW as a consensus moderate buy, with an average price target of $3, indicating a potential upside of over 52%. Disney. Once a leading entertainment company, Disney has transformed into a symbol of controversial brands, notably entangled in a contentious dispute with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. The crux of the matter revolves around Disney expressing dissatisfaction with the state's Parental Rights in Education bill. In response, Governor DeSantis seemingly retaliated by targeting Disney World's special tax district. While Disney draws conservative criticism for its perceived embrace of wokeness, it doesn't necessarily earn favor from all liberal voters. On one hand, those on the left scrutinize the Magic Kingdom for what they see as insufficient support for LGBTQ-related issues. Moreover, the company previously sparked widespread outcry for filming Mulan in China's Xinjiang province, an area linked to allegations of human rights abuses, particularly the unlawful detainment of Muslim Uyghurs. While DIS is categorized among controversial stocks, it might pique the interest of contrarian investors. Despite experiencing significant declines since late 2021, the company demonstrates robust revenue performance relative to its industry peers. Additionally, with the global economy gradually returning to normalcy after the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, Disney is poised for a valuable upside trajectory. Lastly, analysts collectively designate DIS as a consensus strong buy, with the average price target settling at $129.17, implying a potential upside of nearly 30%. Navigating the landscape of controversial stocks presents both challenges and opportunities for investors. It's essential for investors to weigh the controversies against the financial performance and broader market trends. If you like this video, click the next one shown on the screen. I'm sure you'll like it. Thanks for watching.